crotch or whatever it may be. Let's just go over some high crotch defense real quick. We'll just do this, okay? Okay, so on high crotch, first things first, cross facing to me is not the most effective, the most effective high crotch defense. So if someone's good here, he's just gonna keep building height, and I'm almost kind of like picking him up into me. Okay? So I always want to make sure that a cross face isn't my first option. It's stuffing this head here. Okay? Or best case scenario for me is actually meeting his pressure. If you guys ever watch international wrestling, they meet pressure on shots more than they actually sprawl, right? Rather than getting their hips away, their goal is actually to hip into them to stop momentum, right? If I sprawl, he can actually keep moving forward until he's all the way flat. Okay? Whereas if I meet his pressure, I kind of stop him dead in his tracks. Okay, so when he high crotches me, what I actually like to do, again, stuff the head, totally fine, but I personally like to meet his pressure, so I'm going to bump into him, I'm going to catch his head and shove it to the inside. Okay, from here is what I was actually going to talk about. So this is now basically head inside single defense. So if I stuffed his head in a sweep, if I bumped inside of a high crotch, if he tried to just high single me and I stuffed his head, whatever the case, I'm getting here. And from here, I see a lot of high school kids rushing this finish, right? They start trying to get an angle, they're hunting for angles, they're doing all of the right things, except for breaking this lock. And if I'm gonna get behind on someone even halfway decent, I have to break this lock. So something, again, you've probably seen it a million times, and I'm just driving the point home. I gotta post on his hips and get my hips away, right? Wiggle, 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 wiggle until that lock is broken. Now I can start to work, okay? I can retract and get to double overs here in the armpit, right? I can reach to an angle, pull it and go behind. I have a million options here, but back up again. But what I have to do first and foremost is get some space here. Okay? I'm keeping my weight on him. I'm posting on his hips, right? We used to call it like V's on the knees when I was in high school wrestling. Okay? These are V's on the knees, and I'm just scooting my hips back. Okay? My laces are in the mat. If I'm on my toes here and he starts driving up and into me, I'm just gonna come straight up. Okay? Whereas if I'm on my laces and he drives in, okay, go ahead. I'm just gonna kind of slide here. Okay, so laces on the mat, blocking the knees, blocking the hips, whatever, there's something here. And I'm just gonna start kind of wiggling my hips away, side to side, side to side, until he breaks that lock. Okay, now I can start to work. Okay. So we'll go into that high crotch defense real quick. Getting to the high crotch, I'm gonna bump in, I'm meeting his pressure, so I bump in and create space. Okay, here I can't get his head in. But if I bump and create space, now I can catch his head with my forearm, stuff it inside, get behind, or sorry, get him underneath me. Now I'm covering his head with my hips. We're not leaning to the outside, covering his head with my hips, blocking his knees for his thighs, something in here, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Once his lock breaks, I can retract, get behind here. Okay, one more time, okay, so he's going high crotch, boom. As soon as he gets there, don't even let him get it all the way. Let him lock his hands, but don't let him get to this position and stay there. Okay, so go again. Okay, as soon as he high crotches, boom, I need his pressure, I bump, creates the space. Touch the outside of his head with my forearm, shove it inside, ooh, your foot caught in the mat, okay, boom, here, get him underneath you, cover his head with your hips. Lock on the knees, again, any single defense where his head ends up underneath you, here, once his lock breaks, bounce, go behind, or elevate, angle, whatever, it doesn't matter. So let's just work there. Again, the point I want to emphasize is posting and getting your hips away. We'll go from that high crotch defense, something different. Bump his head to the inside, there you go. Good. 1, 2.